One of the biggest mistakes you can make is waiving late fees. And today I'm going to tell you exactly why that's true. Now, I'm not talking about a late fee charge for a tenant who you've had for 4 years. And after 40 straight months of on time payment, they have one time paid you late. And now you're going to go after them. This is a different situation. After multiple years of great record on time, every single time, no complaint sort of payment, you've got a different situation than if you've got a brand new tenant and the second month in the lease, they're already paying late. So, yeah. If someone's been with you for multiple years and established a good rental payment history, different story. I'm talking about that tenant who hasn't made it to their first 6 months and is already paying you late. What should you do? Well, you shouldn't be waiving late fees. And I'm going to tell you exactly why that's the case. By waiving late fees, you're actually encouraging late payment. If a tenant, especially early on, understands that, hey, he's cool with receiving the rent 5 or 10 days late. He hasn't issued a notice of default or a notice to vacate, so I must be doing everything A-okay. The moment that you waive your late fees, you accept late rent without charging additional fees that you are otherwise entitled to, you're discouraging on-time payment by encouraging poor behavior. The moment your tenant understands that the due date on the lease doesn't really mean much, they're going to pay you whenever they want. Now, that's not to say that an occasional late payment here or there is necessarily going to wreck your landlord business, but that disposition that the tenant can just pay whenever and there are zero consequences, I guarantee you that disposition can be the recipe for absolute disaster. Here's another easy one. You're in this business to make money. If money doesn't matter to you, why are you collecting rent at all? If your lease says you're entitled to X, but upon late payment, you're actually entitled to X plus Y, and you're not taking it, I don't understand what's going on with your lease. And neither will your tenant. It doesn't reinforce this as a business transaction. If you're entitled to collect the late fee, you should collect the late fee, because not only is that money that you're just setting on fire when you don't collect, it's indicating to your tenant that the money that's reflected in your lease sometimes isn't that important. You want to make sure that the lease itself stays strong and that the terms in that lease, particularly those that have to do with money, are enforced every single time, just like the lease says they should be. Here's another way that you lose money by waiving late fees, because sometimes you do collect them, but your late fee itself is way too small. Make sure that your late fee is collected in full within the first 7 days. I like to tell landlords, if you're maxed out at 12%, and I'm talking from a Texas perspective, Texas says you can't charge late fees until the fourth day of the month and you're limited to 12%. Well, then on day 4, you're charging 3%, 5, 3, 6, 3, and 7, 3. 4, 5, 6, and 7, 3, 3, 3, and 3. That equals 12%. You got the maximum amount of your late fee within the first 7 days. Remember, the first 3 you can't charge, but those back 4 you definitely can, and you should be maxing out within the first week that late charge, because you want that late fee to be prohibitive. You want that tenant to feel the sting if they elect to pay late, and you've got to charge them for them to feel that sting. Not only are you burning money by not collecting that late fee, you're, again, as I mentioned in the previous point, condoning terrible behavior. Believe it or not, by waiving a late fee now, you're watering down your future eviction. I've seen this happen so many times. A landlord steps into my office so frustrated and telling me, Ernie, I've been dealing with this guy for 18 months. And of those 18 months, at least a dozen times he's paid late. And my first question is always the same in this situation. How many times did you waive the late fee? Well, I've begun to charge that late fee. Great. How many times have you issued a notice of default? Well, I told him more than once. Listen, unless you're handling yourself as a business person and conducting yourself in a business-like manner, the courts aren't going to treat your lease or your claim with a business kind of result. Make sure that you are operating from day one, not till you're frustrated enough to do it. From day one, you're treating your own lease and your own agreement with the respect it deserves, because you may end up in the eviction court and you may be presenting your evidence to a court. Don't say, I've been dealing with this for 18 months and have no record to prove it. By establishing early on that you've charged late fees and you've issued notices of default, you're going to be able to prove your case a lot clearer than if you have a course of performance over 18 months where you were laissez-faire when it came to charging late fees. And matter of fact, when it came to accepting late payment, all that will do is cripple your future claim for an eviction. By establishing day one what you expect, you're likelier to get it and to prevent the need for a future eviction. But if you finally get to the point where you're frustrated enough to evict, guess what? Your waiver of late fees and your reluctance to send that notice could end up shooting you right in the foot. Guess what else happens when you waive your late fees? You water down the rest of your lease. It's no wonder that if you're not going to enforce the late fee provision, you all of a sudden have an unauthorized pet to deal with, or damage on the property, or violations of the noise pollution, or violations of the smoking restrictions. Because if you don't respect your lease, why will the tenant? By showing, again, early on, day one, that all of the terms in the lease matter, you're going to set a precedent for making the tenant believe you when you say that all of the terms in the lease matter. It can't just be some document you signed. It has to be an agreement that you're willing to enforce with notice, and when it comes down to it, additional fees. That puts that document front and center to your tenant. And when it comes to these other terms, they're less likely to breach if they know you are very likely to enforce. That notice of default, important. That assessment of the fee, important. That demand that the fee be paid, also important, because it's not enough to say, hey, you owe me this. You got to go after it sometimes, because you're going to have some tenants who say, I'm not going to pay, and they submit a payment. Well, do you have an application of funds clause? If you do, that means the next time you receive money, bloop, you've just cleared that old debt. I charge it to you, you paid it. You may not have intended it that way, but the application of funds clause in your lease says, I can apply your rent payment any way that is legal. And in this case, I legally charged you late fees, you paid them, so I legally moved funds to clear that late fee balance. You now have a rent balance that I am also legally able to enforce. And if you don't pay, you don't stay. Now, this last one takes us all the way back to the beginning of the lease. And that's something that I tell all landlords is absolutely necessary, is the talk you have with your tenant before you ever hand over keys, before you ever sign your name on the lease, before you ever accept the first month's rent and deposit in full. You sit down with your tenant and you explain your expectations. How is the rent collected? When is it due? And how is the property managed in accordance to your expectations? All this should come out up front before that tenant ever walks through the front door. By doing this, you establish in the mind of the tenant what is to be expected. And if you tell them, listen, if you don't have that rent paid in full by the 4th, the law allows me to assess a late fee, and I will come after the entire late fee. I hope it never comes to that, but understand that if it does, I will be collecting it. And then you don't do it. Nothing undermines a landlord more than them not doing something they said they would do. You end up giving a hollow threat that means nothing, except that the tenant forms an idea in their mind that they can run things as well as they want because you're not going to do anything about it. Don't set up a false story. Make sure that when you tell them you're going to do something, you actually do it, especially when it comes to enforcement of your lease, and particularly when it comes to charging late fees. By waiving them, especially after you made a big deal about it before you started that lease, you're setting yourself up for failure. Make sure instead you turn the table. Not only do you set the expectation, but on day one, the very first time the issue pops up, you are sure to do it. I guarantee you that this strategy is going to bring fewer of you frustrated into my office, sitting down and talking about 18 months of this or 10 months of that, because by laying it out and enforcing it early, you're less likely to have the kinds of troubles that I have to deal with every single day. Hopefully, you set up a relationship with your tenant where this never pops up, and you keep that tenant for so long, they're able to pay tens of thousands of dollars toward your property, thereby giving them a great place to live and them ensuring your profitability and the fact that you've got a well-run business. Landlords, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know that there's tons of stuff that you could watch on this channel alone. I welcome you to check all of it out. Make sure if you do like something, you give us that thumbs up. Any questions or comments, you leave that below. And definitely, if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing. If you've got questions you would like to ask me directly, certainly we welcome you setting up a consultation, but you can also join us on Wednesdays live. I do a YouTube live at 4 o'clock Houston time on Wednesdays where I answer your landlord-tenant questions, whether you give that to me ahead of time in our Facebook group, Texas Landlords, or you add it to the chat live on Wednesdays on YouTube. I'm happy to see you there. And until next time, landlords, happy leasing.